Hello everybody and welcome back to Farm Sim 25 and welcome back to our Calm Land Survival Challenge. It's a beautiful April morning here on the farm. And in the last episode, you guys know we went ahead and started our cattle empire with a massive dairy pasture across the field. So big developments out here on our farm. Now, it is April, which means we got a lot of work to do. So we're going to get this party started. Let's get the farm hands out here working on getting the grass cut. We've got $88,000 in the bank. Let's get this started. Alright. Now, we also have to plant our soybeans. We're going to grab this. Head on over. Actually, probably ought to fill it up before we go, huh? That would be smart. Sorry I haven't been posting as much lately. It's been so hot, man. My bedroom doesn't get the AC as much as the rest of the apartment does. So, like, it's been brutal to try to sit down and record anything. I am sweating like a friggin' horse in a glue factory. It's ridiculous. Get all of our seeds and fertilizer. We topped up on diesel as well. We'll get this thing over to the field. Looks like our wheat's doing just fine. Looking mighty nice. But if you see that giant field off in the distance, that's what we got to get planted. So that's our goal. Now, I already checked in on the cows. They're doing just fine over there. We may need to top them up with a little bit of TMR. But other than that, everything's going pretty well. Let's go for the maximum headlands. There we go. Set that down a little bit. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. We got to set it to soybeans. There we go. Well, let's get it started. Right. So, got our soybeans planted. It's taken a lot of soybeans to plant that field now. I mean, we used almost 70% of our seeds planting that field. So it should go to show you just how big that field is, and it's only going to get bigger, folks. And look at the hill that we're going to have to conquer. It's going to be crazy, but I think we'll be just fine. For now, we're going to go ahead and park up our planter. We're going to hook up to the forage wagon, start picking up all of our grass that we've already cut. Our farmhand has already finished all of the grass cutting, now is working on fertilizing. You guys know the deal. We got ourselves a pretty well set up strategy at this point. Like as we go through, we know what we got to do. And then once we get this done, then we'll go forward and we'll get into June. And we will sell off all of our soybeans from last year. And I can't wait to see how much money we make off that. Should be pretty decent amount of money. Alright, let's go ahead and drop the planter. Let's hook up to our forage wagon. I'm pretty sure we already filled up on silage additive, so we should be able to just hook up and go. We are full. Perfect. Alright, all the grass is picked up. Workers still working on fertilizing the second field. We're going to get this stuff dropped off into the silo. We actually need to start thinking about a new silo. This silo here is going to be both silage as well as TMR. Before we even dump, let's go ahead and talk or look at what I'm talking about. That's the wrong button. We want to go here. So this silage, or this silo here, is selling silage, but it is also capable of doing hay and making our TMR, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. Now, basically, it'll make the hay and TMR until it's completely full, and then everything else will be turned into silage and sold off, which is what we want, right? Problem is, it's not able to keep up. So I think we need to come up with a new silo that's job is solely for fermenting silage. All right. So now that we've looked at our mods, one of the things I want to look at is our current ability to do grass silage. So right there you're seeing 240 cycles per month, and each of those make what, 1,000 liters of silage. So that would be 240,000 liters per month. So yeah, this one is just better than the other one. But the problem is we are outpacing our ability to convert grass into silage and sell it off. That's the problem. Alright, well, we're going to need a second one, clearly. Is it considered a factory? I think I do this every time. Yeah, right here. So it's $30,000 for another one. I think we will go ahead and put that down. I'm going to have to move my John Deere. We need a way to get more silage converted and sold off. Because right now, basically what we're doing is we're filling up our silo with grass. And while it is capable of continuing to put out silage and sell it, we're outpacing its ability to keep up. So we want to grab this, spin it around. And slap her down. There we go. So now we've got a new silo. Like we are filling up a lot of silos, man. Like we have 5 silos now on this farm. Kind of cool. All right. Well, let's get this put into the new silo. We'll get that new silo started. We're also going to go ahead and get a another water pump, because you know that this thing will have to fill up with 2 million liters of water. There we go. Let's go ahead and turn this thing around. And we'll fill it up with silage additive again. Perfect. All right. Now let's get into our fermenting silo that's currently empty. This is just going to be grass silage. And we are going to sell that off as it does it. All right. Next, we're going to put down another water pump. Just put this back here, I suppose. Don't need to go too crazy with it. All right. Turn that on. Distribute. Turn that on. Distribute. All right, so now all 3 of our water pumps are distributing, so they should be able to keep up with all of our water demands as the silo over there fills with water. Because, like I said, it'll take a while. But we should now have double the capacity of converting grass into silage, which means we're going to be able to get a lot more money quicker, which is good. So let's just keep that a-rocking. All right, is our worker done? Not quite. Looks like he's on the last headlands. And then we got to go into June, fill up our soybeans, and deliver them. And make that sweet, sweet moolah. But yeah, I think it's going to be a huge upgrade for us to be able to get our silage doubled up in terms of our conversion capacity. Because that's really the only thing holding us back at this point when it comes to how much money we make. Is we make a ton of money off of silage. Like an absurd amount of money off of our silage. We only have 3 grass fields. But we also use that silage to make TMR for our cattle. Which, as we get more and more cattle, remember we started with 60 head. I think it's 18 months. Every 18 months they are able to reproduce. So as long as we keep them fed, we should have a steady stream of cattle, and that first cattle farm, or the first pasture that we have, and dairy barn, should be able to get us 900 head of cattle, which is pretty crazy. I have no idea how much they're going to eat, but I would assume it's a lot. But we've got all of our grass fields fertilized. Next month, we will have to run the... I say next month. I might just forgo a month. We do have the sprayer. I might forgo a month and use the sprayer on the soybean field. Let's go ahead and drop that there. Just because I want to be able to go straight into June. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Our chickens are doing just fine. You can see they're doing their thing. Obviously the egg pallets, I mean, we can kind of just pick that up a little bit. Get it sold. There we go. And then we'll go forward. And like I said, we'll go forward into June so that we can sell off our stuff. We'll set the sprayer up to do the weed control on the big field. Now, if we look at our production, or our finances, we can see that every month we've been making about $54,000 selling silage, right? And between silage and all of our other stuff. So now we should be able to make a little bit more than that, now that we have double the conversion rate, right? So we know about 20,000 of that comes from our gardens, and then the rest comes from everything else. So let's go ahead and check the thing. There's a truck. How much can that hold? This is the dumper. I mean, it can only hold 14,000 liters, so it's not really worth it. And then everything else we don't really need. So that's fine. Alright, let's keep it going. I'm looking for a new tractor soon to replace the Fendt. The Fendt does an okay job, but I'm tired of flipping over. Like, I flip that thing at least 3 times an episode. It's crazy. It turns too quick. I mean, it's a great tractor, but it turns so quick. Alright, now we can see, yeah. So last month we made $77,000. So we're making some money now. And still nothing in here that we need. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump in the old John Deere. Hook it up to the sprayer. Get the sprayer over working on the big field. This is why it's nice to have the ability to do both. I would obviously, if I can avoid using chemicals, I do. But being able to use the sprayer as well gives us a little bit more freedom. We also need to check in on our cattle. So we'll do that while we're getting this set up. But I do like this little John Deere. I think it's a good little tractor for the oddball stuff that we don't need a ton of horsepower for, like the sprayer, like the weeder. I mean, technically it's a little bit slow, or a little bit too small for the weeder, but it does okay with the sprayer. And it's not too slow with the weeder. Alright, unfold this big behemoth. Set this thing up. And let AI take it over. Alright, meanwhile, we're going to hook up and feed our chickens. And we'll check on our cattle. Okay. In terms of our cattle, how much TMR do they currently have? There, it's 65,000 liters. It holds about 100,000. So I feel like, yeah, we are going to go through a lot of TMR. Which is good, because we have the ability to make all the TMR we could ever need. And I think we still have a little bit left over in here. Start filling. We got TMR. We'll get about 30,000 liters because we know that'll fit. Okay. Take this over to the cattle. Check how they're doing. Alright, TMR goes outside. It's the straw that goes inside. And dump this in there. And that should free this trailer up to be used for our soybeans. Perfect. Alright, let's check on our milk. See how we're doing. We currently have 8,000 liters of milk. Very nice. We have quite a meadow, so that'll help keep up some of their food as well. Go check on our little cattle over here. I do wish that as we get more cattle, like, there would be more in the field, because I feel like this field just looks kind of barren. But look at Mama Cow over here. Hope she's doing well. She looked like she's happy. Just taking it easy. Alright, we're going to go back over. We're going to get the soybeans loaded up and get them delivered. Now, one of the things that I may end up doing is cutting the trees down as we drive between them currently. But I may end up cutting those trees down just so that I can put a road in there, since we're going to be utilizing it quite a bit. And dodging trees isn't ideal. I mean, we don't technically need to cut the trees down, because there is kind of a little spot here, but there's at least a couple of them that I would like to clean up, if nothing else. We'll get this over here. We'll pick up our soybeans. It's going to take a while to load this up with soybeans, so I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, we're loaded up. Let's get this soybeans taken over. It looks like the farmer's market's offering the best price for it, so hopefully we'll make a good chunk of money. Got 148,000 liters of soybeans. That should be a decent payday. We do have $194,000 in the bank currently. And here we go, y'all. How much money are we going to make from last year's soybean harvest? $180,800 plus $25,000 bonus. We made over $200,000, guys. Over $200,000 harvest off of our soybeans. Oh, we are doing just fine for money now. We are going to be making a lot of money between our silage and our soybeans. It's getting real out there, y'all. It's getting real. So next comes the part where we want to figure out exactly what we want to do next, right? And I think expansion is on the table. We don't have anything in the shop that we want to buy right now. I can deal with the equipment that we currently have, so we don't need to buy anything brand new. I'm just kind of waiting for an offer for something like on the cheap for an expansion to our fleet if we can. But we don't need to go out and spend a bunch of money that for no reason. However, what we will do is we'll look at property expansion, because we're going to be expanding our soybean field and our grass field. And we're going to see if we can't do that in one fell swoop. $400,000 seems like a lot of money until you start buying land, and all of a sudden you're like, I bought like two plots of land. But I think it'll be worth it, because we should be able to finally complete this field, this grass field to my left that we've been working on the entire season, or the entire series. All right, we'll set that down there for the time being. Yeah, so if we go to the map, we'll look at farmland. So we're not quite to the part where we can finish this field. Like, this would be the two that I would grab to finish this field. This one's going to be $185,000. This one's going to be a little cheaper, $110,000. Between them, that's $295,000. We could do that, but I think we want to expand our soybean field first. So I'm thinking this farmland here is $183,000. So we'll go ahead and buy that. And we're going to go ahead and buy this as well. It's another $68,000. Leaves us $149,000 in the bank. This piece right here is 160. This one is 185. So that'll be what, $340,000 to expand to the next zone when we get there. And then this is 110,000. I might go ahead and buy this piece of property here, even though we're not going to do anything with it just yet. we will go ahead and purchase it. We've got plenty of money. I'm not too worried about that. We're going to be making, what, $70,000 a month or something like that now. So money's not going to be an issue. But what that'll do, this will allow us to expand our soybeans even further. And then the next time that we have a good chunk of money, we can buy these two pieces of property. Like I said, this is like $340,000 right here. And that will allow us to complete this field, this grass field, finally. And that will also allow us to bring our soybean field all the way up into here, which is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Like, this is going to be the biggest field I've ever seen in Farm Sim. Maybe there's some maps out there like 4 fields or whatever that have bigger map or bigger fields or whatever. But in terms of starting from scratch, working our way up, like this is going to be an absurd field. But I'm using the map, like the road layout, to kind of show me where I want my field, right? And we may end up buying this as well at some point. I mean, this is probably, yeah, that's relatively cheap. This is relatively cheap. So we may end up buying these at some point as well. I'm not overly concerned with it. But yeah, I'm excited, man. We've done a lot. Our farm is growing like crazy. If you look at the amount of farmland we own now, like we own all of the yellow tiles. It's all ours. We're not quite to halfway, but we're getting very close to having half of the map. So that's kind of crazy. We are expanding rapidly. But I think we're going to go ahead and call it there. The AI should be doing this just fine. You see they're spraying everything just fine. And the best part is it really doesn't take much in terms of herbicide to do this either. But I hope you guys are still enjoying the series. We've come a long ways. We've got a long ways to go. So let me know if you guys have anything in particular in mind that you want to see. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.